handle, and then that's when we can have anticipation and get those steals.
How about this game today? Could this be a world championship down the road, these two teams?
Possibly. They're a very fine team. They're the winningest team in the league, but right now we're playing our best basketball, so it should be a fine game.
Okay, guys, good luck to you, buddy.
Thank you, Hot Rod.
All right, let's go back to Brent.
Thank you, Hot Rod, and you can see the crowd that is going to be on hand here this afternoon in the Kingdome, still filing in for this tip-off. The Celtics on this road trip, and boy, have they been impressive on the road, Bill.
Yeah, they have. I noticed with the interview with Gus, when a team is good like this, he said, Rod said a championship down the road. The way he talked, he's sure they're going to be there. The question is whether Celtics
can make it, right? Well, there is a man who has done an impressive job with the Seattle SuperSonics, Lenny Wilkins, their fine head coach. And now, Rick Robey is being introduced to the crowd. He, of course, is out of Kentucky. He is filling in for the injured Dave Cowens. Bill Fitch may be able to get Cowens back Wednesday. Chris Ford, the finest three-point shooter in the NBA, at least percentage-wise, has checked in. And there's their lead guard, Tiny Archibald, trying to play through some assorted leg injuries lately. He looked a little stiff. And there's Cornbread Maxwell, and of course their big man offensively, Larry Bird, introduced to this crowd here in Seattle. And now it'll be the defending NBA champion, Seattle SuperSonics, who will be introduced to a loud roar here. Lenny Wilkins and Les Habecker, the head coaches. They have won 7 straight games, and one more would be the franchise record. And here's an underrated small forward, John Johnson, number 27. Lonnie Shelton, improving every game as a power forward, formerly of the New York Knicks. And the wizard in the backcourt, Gus Williams, was talking to Howard a short time ago. And, of course, Dennis Johnson, that strong defensive and rebounding guard. And their center, 6'11", Jack Sikma. So you have seen the starting lineups, and we're about ready to go. Mentioning Larry Bird, of course, he hit a career-high 45 points in that losing cause in Phoenix the other night. Then he threw in 28 points against Portland on Friday night, and I want you to see his first field goal. It's amazing that we're going to have it at halftime with our highlights, and also a programming reminder. As you see our officials, Jake O'Donnell and Bill Saar. Next week, the NBA Game of the Week is going to take you to Kansas City for Kansas City and Milwaukee. Milwaukee is red hot right now with Big Bob Lanier. They are 35 and 27, only a game and a half back of Kansas City. The Kemper Arena will be reopened Wednesday night. Scotty Wedman is expected to return to action. So what a day as you see Dave Cowens still in civilian clothes.
Yes, he told me that he didn't think he'd be able to play. He could play today, but he'd be taking a chance. So he think he'd wait till Wednesday, and then he can go full bore and don't worry about it anymore.
You better hurry back the way Robey's playing.
Well, Eric Fernston shouldn't be overlooked in this. In talking to Bill Fitch, he thinks as much of Fernston as Cowens' replacement right now as he does of Robey. And the Fernston story is so very fascinating because Bill Fitch traded him a long time ago from Cleveland to Chicago in the Nate Thurmond deal. Fernston later wound up playing basketball in Italy, has come back for another trial, and Fitch is extremely high on him. We are underway, the second and final meeting of the regular season between Seattle and Boston. And we have a couple of demonstrators out on the floor. Jake O'Donnell has stopped the action. Now the police run out and get the floor cleared off. That's why the whistle was blown. And now Jake will go over and announce how many seconds are left on the shot clock and what he will do as far as the timing is concerned, talking to the official score. So the demonstrators are cleared away. As of right now, there's 16 seconds up on the shot clock. Tiny Archibald checking with Jake. Jake will bring it over. They'll take it out of bounds on the sideline, nearest the point where the ball was stopped when the demonstration had to be ended. And Bill Fitch is now asking Jake a question. And now he will sit back down. And Tiny Archibald will go to Chris Ford, 42. Shelton is fronting Maxwell and trying to deny him the ball, and he did an excellent job.
How long in here?
Ford's open. As the shot clock went off, and Larry Bird in a fresh 24.
Plays so quick on that rebound play. Right back up with it.
Williams missing the layup, and Bird's first rebound. So a field goal and a rebound for the rookie already. Archibald crashing in, drew the foul as he came down.
foul line, Shelton.
Here's a play again. You see Tiny come down the middle. DJ's there along with Shelton. He just knifes his way through, throws the shot up, and is fouled on the play. He'll get 2 free throws. They've got to keep him from penetrating. Archibald has been a great success story with Boston this year.
So the Celtics break away to a 3-point lead over the NBA champions. Shelton comes out and moves it to Sikma. Cross-court Dennis. He banged into Bird. That could be off. No. It'll be a blocking foul. It could have gone the other way.
Sure looked that way as he drove in there. Bird was in front. We'll take a look at it again. Here's the move. Bird moves in, establishes the position, but DJ took it to him, and they called a foul on Bird. It's rookie season.
High game at 3. Off Maxwell's hand, out of bounds. It'll go to the Sonics.
Now, the idea that Seattle using the press is not necessarily to steal the ball and just to throw the timing off. What they're trying to do now is establish whose game they're going to play. And so now this is a feeling out process.
Offensive rebound. Dennis Johnson stuck with it. Third attempt, no good. Finally taken away by the Celtics. Maxwell negotiates the baseline. Pretty move.
Boy, he left Sikma trapped to the floor on that play. Quick move.
Turned it over on the dribble. It'll go over to the Celtics.
Watch DJ fight for these rebounds on the offensive end. Number 24 in white. Back up 3 times. Never to get the basket. And finally, the Celtics push forward, came down with it.
There's Chris.
Chris Ford.
Token pressure by Ford after his field goal. Slow the ball down. Shot clock at 9 for Sikma. He's having to turn around. And Robey. The baseline belongs to the Celtics here early.
Well, what they're doing, the Celtics are going baseline when Archibald penetrates. A lot of guys have to come in behind the penetrator, but the Celtics are staying baseline because they know that Archibald is going to draw the big guys in defensively.
Good Celtic defense. Shelton comes away with it. And taken by Sikma.
That's the first time Jack has really moved. Defensively, twice they went around him on the baseline. Once it was Maxwell and then Robey. This time he came up quickly to get the offensive tip in.
Cornbread did not expect the pass. Good drive by Gus with too much spin, but Maxwell hustles back for the rebound, and they should have a good one here. 3-on-1, but Tiny's forced outside by Sikma. Williams quickly, it'll be easy for DJ. So if you miss at a 3-on-1, coming back the other way, you're going to get hurt.
I think one thing they did wrong there was Maxwell should have given the ball up to Archibald, and that slowed the breakdown, and it gave Seattle time to get back on the defense.
Bird with a hanger, offensive rebound.
Well, that's a smart play. Everyone thought he was going to go up on the left side, so he moved to the right and reversed it.
John Johnson will try to make him work at the defensive end. Shelton controlling the rebound. That is twice the Sonics have had control and have been unable to tap in an offensive rebound. Maxwell.
This is going to be a long day for both these teams because they're both ready to play. You notice, you can tell when these teams are ready to play because offensive rebound.
They tried to go backdoor and Maxwell read it. He's beyond the three-point line. They gave Chris a lot of time. Archibald trying to slow the ball up. Does.
Now Rick Robey just made a good play. Gus Williams might have gone for the hoop then. He just stepped out and then went back to his man. Just enough to slow him up so that the defensive man could catch up.
High to Shelton. Maxwell. Key rebounder for the Celtics so far. Got it from Ford.
That's a smart play there, Brent. Ford taking his middle, brought the defense to him, went into the air and dropped it off to Maxwell coming from the right side. Went right in for the layup and he was fouled going to the basket. As DJ gets the foul, that's his first and second team foul. Maxwell in the act of shooting will get 2 free throws.
Cedric Maxwell leads the league in field goal percentage, 61%. We have a final in. Philadelphia keeping the pressure on the Celtics. The 76ers defeat Cleveland today, 115 to 100. That's the final. Archibald again pressuring the ball. Ford there with him. Williams comes around. Sikma glides to the layup.
He's having his best year in 5 years, Brent. He leads his team in scoring, he leads in assists, and he also leads in steals.
Ford.
That's Ford.
You can tell that both teams are having good seasons. They play with such confidence. They set up a play and every man seems to know what he's supposed to do. These are premier professional teams. Third rebound.
You know, one of the key things about rebounding, Brent, is not so much that you get a number of them, it's what do you do with them after you get them. I like a good rebounder. Sometimes it's not determined by his number, but how quickly he gets rid of the ball and the pass off and start the fast break.
17-13. Celtics lead it. 6 minutes and 5 seconds to go in the first period. Larry got beyond the three-point line. JJ. Dennis behind his back and got it back. Battling Bird for it. And they'll jump it.
Quite a pass he made, just a little bit behind Gus, and he had to flag it down and to bounce back to him. Here's the pass, and then Gus couldn't handle it. DJ missed the easy one. Then he's tied up by Bird, and we've got a timeout. 13-17, Boston.
Last night, Adrian Dantley scored 38, and Utah beat the Knicks. Philadelphia winner over Chicago. Cleveland downing Detroit, and of course this afternoon the 76ers defeated Cleveland 115 to 100. So Billy Cunningham's 76ers backup victories to keep the pressure on the Celtics. Celtics at 44 and 14, and at halftime you'll see highlights of their victory over Portland. Larry Bird jumping off against Dennis Johnson, and DJ's great leaping ability. He went right up with the taller man. Now the Sonics have an edge in rebounding, as Sikma doesn't need any help with that turnaround. But one of the factors that could be telling later on in this game, the fact that the Sonics out-rebounded the Celtics in Game 1, and they appear to have a slight edge so far in Game 2. Bird, drawing the foul, will step up to the free throw line.
That's a good move because it continued after the play. He knew he was going to be fouled and went for the shot. JJ denies him the ball. Bird faked in, came out, got the ball, came off the screen by Robey, leaped and leaned in to JJ to get the foul. That's JJ's first, Seattle's third. 2 free throws for Larry Bird.
Bird has hit the 30-point mark 2 times in his last 5 games. He's scored an average of 29 points a game during that span.
He could be the first rookie to lead Boston in scoring since 1947, and Connie Simmons led him with a 10-point average.
Was that the Russell era?
That was even before my time. You know, 2 of the key guys with the who've probably been playing the most consistent ball all year is Jack Sikma and John Johnson. And it doesn't show up in statistics.
losing the ball. Robey.
Loose ball foul.
And it's against Rick. Tried to regain control and committed a loose ball foul in the backcourt. So the Sonics will be taking it out of bounds.
Right there, he tried to pick it up. DJ had the inside track to the ball, and it belongs to Seattle.
Sonics shooting for the lead. They cut off of their small forward. They get the lead with Gus Williams.
Bird tried to help, but he couldn't get out there in time.
Sonics lead 19-18.
Archibald swings free. Maxwell maneuvering, dishes off. Robey coming down the middle. Intercepted by Chris Ford alertly. Off to Williams, Shelton. Off to Williams. Gus will jump up over Robey. Bird quickly to Tiny. Ford. He's hitting 46% of his three-pointers. Another one, and DJ burns Archibald.
I really have to think he's got to be the best all-around guard in basketball. DJ made a great defensive play a couple plays ago. Can hit outside. He can leap. He does it all.
Tap back to Tiny by Bird. Sikma's got Gus.
That's what I mean by good rebounder. That pass that Jack Sikma made, he got the rebound. He didn't come down with it even. He just passed it out, and that's a good defensive rebounder. It's not so much a number as what you do with it after you get it.
That was the play that Bill Fitch was talking about before the game. We got to stop Gus getting those long passes for layups.
Robey loses, and Chris Ford alertly regains it. And the 24-second clock had expired, so it is turned over to the Sonics.
Here's the play a moment ago on the rebound. Sikma down court to Gus. All alone for the layup. To the right end of the basket. Russ, perfect timing on that rebound outlet pass.
And of course the point that Fitch made is don't blame my guards, blame my rebounders. They got to go up and battle them on the boards. And prior to the final round of the Los Angeles Open, the NBA Game of the Week on CBS will take you to Kansas City. Milwaukee and Bob Lanier against Sam Lacey. Kansas City Kings will be back in the Kemper Arena. You know, we haven't had a bad game this year, Hot Rod. All of them go right down to the wire.
They've been great games, and next week should be no exception. With Bob Lanier playing great, Milwaukee's yet to lose.
Sikma putting it down. Robey fouled him.
13.
Sonic fans all over.
At Dartmouth.
Snowbound up there. Back to Shelton. Up over Maxwell. Taken down by Sikma. That's their 9th offensive rebound. John Johnson, and it's a 10th, and Gus Williams, that's a big edge. It is 16-9 now, rebounding with 10 offensive rebounds by the Sonics.
They took him out of the way on the defensive board, and that left the little man inside to get the rebound on that drive.
Ford comes around the double screen, and then Bird pops out. Shelton with him. Inside to Maxwell. No foul called on Sikma, but they sure could have that time.
Well, he may play the shot.
He didn't hit him too hard. You got to draw blood sometimes.
DJ, great leaping ability. He just rose above Chris Ford and hit that shot.
Just goes up as high as he has to.
Well, Ford did his job. He drew 2 men and then dished off to Robey rolling down the middle.
Shelton with the foul.
Take a look at it again. Now, Sikma will do his job defensively. He helps out, but then he leaves this man. Robey comes in. Shelton picks up on the play, and Lonnie Shelton got the foul. 2 free throws for Robey on the Sonics' 4th team foul.
Shelton's 2nd foul, and he has fouled out of more games during his 4 seasons in the NBA than any player in the league during that span. He's fouled out of 44, and so with those 2, he will sit down, and the great veteran from Creighton, Paul Silas, checks in.
Bryn, I think you notice with these 2 teams, they do a lot of different things quite well. They run the fast break great. and they can run plays great, and they play good defense. And this is what they do, is that they probe the other team to find out what will work best. And they're capable of doing whatever it takes.
Between them, Williams and Johnson have now scored 23 of the Sonics' 29 points. And Bill Russell made the point prior to the game that Lenny Wilkins depends on his guards, not only at the offensive end, but defensively, and here they come again.
Boy, they are doing a job. That's remarkable that a team does so well with the guards as leading scorers.
Archibald, a little bit out of control that time, trying to get a field goal back for the Celtics. Johnson hits Gus Williams, short. Robey out. Bird got two on the left. Archibald was fouled by John Johnson, and he'll come to the line. JJ not liking the call, and Eric Furston checking in. Robey out.
Archibald should have made this basket. Bird laid it up to him down the left side. Off balance, but no one put a hand up on the play, but the foul was charged to Johnny Johnson, his second. Now they're in the penalty. And at the line, Archibald will have 3 to make 2.
Furston 6'10", 205, out of a familiar school for Bill Russell, the University of San Francisco.
Now, you know, with a lot of the tall players, really, the centers, you can tell when they're nervous because when they get the ball, they'll put it on the floor. And this was what Robey was doing in the first quarter. He put the ball on the floor much more than he does normally and when he's relaxed. But when a lot of the centers, when they get nervous, they put the ball on the floor. And that gives the defense a chance to converge and get a lot of steals.
Furston fouling Sikma.
Princeton with the foul.
Sonics leading the Celtics 31-28. And Bill mentioning dribbling centers. The one who seldom puts the ball on the floor, if ever, is Wes Unseld. He just comes out there right now popping. And you'll see Big Wes and the revitalized Washington Bullets on our halftime highlights against Bill Walton in San Diego. Maxwell fouling Dennis Johnson.
He had him beat on the play. They doubled him up, tried to stop him, and DJ smartly leaned in. Watch him pull up. He sees he's got him off balance, so he'll just lean into him as they went for the fake. 2 free throws coming for Dennis Johnson. Talking about centers putting the ball on the floor. A lot of times, Russ, they are frustrated little men. That's what Ray told me about a center that used to play for him.
Auerbach was never tall.
You ought to see Russell bringing it down with Chamberlain putting full-court pressure on him.
Too hard.
Penalty free throw for Dennis. He scored 12 here in the opening period. Gus Williams with 14. Now it's 13 and 14. And the Celtics need to stop the momentum with a field goal. And Maxwell should have had the offensive rebound basket. He was all alone as the period ends. The Celtics rattled just a little bit at the end of the period.
Boston out there is doing a much better job getting back to, and they're starting to get a little more at ease here in Seattle.
The preceding announcement was brought to you as a public service by the National Basketball Association. I'm Brent Musburger with Hot Rod Hundley and Bill Russell. And Bill, in that first quarter, the guards for the Sonics scoring 27 of 33 points. What can Bill Fitch do now against the Sonics' great guards?
What he'll have to do, or what he could do, is run plays that their guards have to switch and play hard defense. Make them have to switch to play a forward, and that way they have to screen out and they can't take off. And so what you do to stop them offensively is you have to take them out of it by making them work hard defensively.
We have some other games underway. Atlanta leading Detroit by 4. That's in the first. You'll see Milwaukee next week. They're trailing San Antonio. That should be a good one this afternoon. And next week you'll see them against Kansas City. Houston leading Denver. And Washington ahead of Los Angeles. Those scores, of course, are early in the first period. Phoenix 16. And Kansas City trailing San Diego by 3. Sikma
That's 3 times he's hit that jump shot out front. You look at Dave Cowens on the bench. Sikma, who keeps that ball up so high. Boston's aware of that. They're getting right up on him, but he still gets the shot away.
And the forwards still have not scored a point for the Sonics. The 2 guards and Sikma with 8. Archibald, and it's Sikma to the rebound. Gus Williams rising up. That's 16 already for the Wizards.
There's 2 things you may have noticed. Under the basket, a lot of times you see somebody falling down and flying out of there because they are pounding the boards. Now, one thing you should notice about passes is that the discretion they use. Sometimes it's just important the passes that they don't make. I was watching Larry Bird on the fast break a couple of times. There were a couple of times when he might have tried to pass, but he didn't, because that's a sign of a good passer. It's discretion he uses when not to pass also.
Now they have taken him out of the Celtic offense here about the last 8 minutes. Sikma over.
And again, there's that ball up high. Bernstein right up tight with him. 4 in a row, Sikma's hit out there.
Archibald and Eric Bernstein with a powerful rebound. Williams. Tapped by Silas. Now Larry Bird had to come over to help out, and that left the weak side open, and on the miss, they got the easy tap in. Here's Bernstein again positioned. Down by Sikma. Bernstein with a very quick first step. John Johnson shot his flat. 2 in a row, and that time he should have been blocked out by Larry Bird, and Fitch is not happy.
And that's twice at the old man of basketball. 36 years young, Paul Silas with a tip in. DJ pass to JJ. Watch Paul come in, go up with the right hand, slap it off the glass.
Seattle's biggest lead so far in this confrontation against the Boston Celtics, and next Sunday, the NBA game of the week on CBS, Milwaukee at Kansas City. Kansas City leading Milwaukee by a game and a half in the Midwest Division. Bill and Archibald have pointed out the skills of Gus Williams and Dennis Johnson, and Kansas City features a couple of good guards, Phil Ford and Otis Birdsong. And speaking of guards, here's an old buddy of Bill's, Freddie Brown, has checked in.
From downtown, he just came on.
Yeah, he complements these other 2. He can play with either one of the other 2 guys, and they have as good a 3 guards as you're going to ever see any place.
Bernstein's hook, and Tom Lagarde, who has checked in for Wilkins, yanked the rebound down. So we have Dennis Johnson and Fred Brown, Lagarde, John Johnson, and Paul Silas for the champions. Bird on the steal, loose ball. Robey and Bernstein are working together. Bill Fitch wanting some muscle.
You got M.L. Carr playing at a guard, trying to match up with DJ.
Archibald. M.L. Carr underneath, and a chance for a 3-pointer.
Good hesitation move. You take a look at it again. Carr will get the inside track for the offensive rebound. He's got Lagarde screened away. He's got it in a double pump. Get them to commit themselves and go up and put the ball in, and he was fouled on the play by Paul Silas, his first.
That's just the act of a desperate man, Rod. M.L. Carr, every time he gets a little comfortable, Bill Fitch tells him if he doesn't hustle, he's going to send him back to Detroit.
Hey, and he started every game at Detroit, and he can't start with Boston, but he seems to be happy.
I should think so. DJ. Boy, they're marvelous guards. Archibald penetrating. Lagarde's got him. Robey rolls free.
Robey from Archibald.
That was a great pass that Johnny Archibald made then. He's going away and to put the right speed on it, but that's what's so important in a pass of that type.
Back door. Missed on it, and Robey comes out, and here's Tiny again. Paul Silas awaits him, and they go to Bird. Jump pass cross court to ML. Driving across. Rolling up the layup. Carr was fouled.
Real time Lagarde. Did a good head and shoulder move and then went right to the basket, going left to right across the lane.
James Bailey out of Rutgers checks in for the Sonics. Rookie this year in the NBA.
Here's your move, the pass a moment ago. Archibald a little bit back of Robey, but as Russell pointed out, Brent, He threw it at the right speed, and that enabled Robey to get the ball and go to the basket.
How much of Pistol Pete Maravich, Hot Rod, can we expect to see this afternoon?
I don't know if you'll see him at all. He told me he's been playing about 9 minutes of basketball, but that he's terribly out of shape. And his coach, Bill Fitch, made the same comment. In one game, he had 10 points in the fourth quarter against Detroit. That's been his biggest contribution to the team.
Foul was called as Dennis came up. Carr on him, and there's the pistol. How about that new hairdo?
Got the permanent look. Changed his number from 7 to 44.
Who's he hiding from?
You notice that they got ML Carr guarding Dennis Johnson. And there's going to be very few forwards that can stay with Dennis Johnson. But he was overpowering the guard, so they're trying to use a bigger guy on him.
Larry Bird using the backboard, going to the glass. The Celtics pull right back into this with this alignment, 45-41. Here's DJ from the perimeter, and Dennis is missing now, and that is allowing the Celtics, who are stronger rebounding, to climb right back in this game.
I think Lenny is going to give Dennis a little break now.
Loose on eight. DJ gets inside a Carr, picked up by Fernston, maneuvers. The whistle had sounded before he came back up on the layup.
Play on the loose ball foul is going to go against Seattle on the play. DJ, it's 3 in a row. He's missed. That time he had a good one. A little pressure. He's obviously tired, and that's why Lenny Wilkins will take him out. We'll look at the play again. Here's DJ going in underneath trying to fight for the rebound. Comes down with it.
Now we're ready to go. The Celtics with the ball come to the attack. Fernston wanted Bird, and Silas with a quick move in that right hand. The former Celtic flicked it out of bounds.
He's only about 16 years older than Larry Bird.
And he just threw a right shoulder at Bird. And then Fernston retaliates, picking off Silas. Bird's one-hander is off, and I like this Eric Fernston. About that time he'll force one on me, right? Huh? What do I know?
You like that shot, huh?
Bird got the ball in the air. Now we're going to have our timeout. Seattle will come over, and Brown was fouled as he went up on the shot. 6:44. First half, Sonics lead it by 4. 45-41. And that's a 10-rounder for Rossman, who's now ranked 7. And Hot Rod, I forgot something on the shot by Fernston.
That's right. Now, here's the one that Bird will force up, and it doesn't draw iron. Of course, the 24-second clock plays in the NBA. You've got to hit iron. Bernstein grabbed the ball, took a shot off of it, falling away. It wasn't a good percentage shot, but he had to beat the clock.
There it was. And so with 6:44, 40-41.
Now, Bill Fitch possibly could take advantage right now of the Sonics backcourt because they're not as strong defensively now with Dennis Johnson in there. And the way to take advantage is to have the front court plays run so that they have switches, so that these guards will have to guard forwards, and that way he can get to his strength, which is in the front court.
He also has put in a quick guard right now. Gerald Henderson, 43 now. Broken jaw. You can see the brace up there underneath the neck. He also has a mouthpiece. He's dribbling it. Send it to Robey. They go inside to Fernston.
That's your boy. He put a frozen rope in on that one. Line drive shot right off the glass.
Now Henderson will come back with Williams. Carr is over on Freddie Brown. Maxwell taking Bailey. Brown maneuvering, cut off for the baseline. He'll pop one up. Bailey with a strong rebound. Short. Wow. There's Henderson. Protective brace. Actually, it's a piece of padding that he told me he was going to try to wear under there.
This is one game that Coach, go ahead. ML Carr with a field goal. I was going to say, Brent, this is one game that Bill Fitch made another remark about prior to the game that he's wondering if his club can win the big game without Dave Cowens, and he meant this one right here.
From Lagarde and Funston yanks it off. Celtics are much stronger now, rebounding. But of course, Shelton has not been in for a few minutes either for Seattle. Knocked away and out of bounds. Celtics keep control. And here comes Shelton back. Silas out. New Jersey trailing Phoenix. San Diego and Kansas City all even in the second. Indiana leading Chicago and Artis Gilmore. 3-2 on the shot. 1. I think the Celtics might have forgotten they didn't have a fresh 24 that time for a moment. Williams. Pull up. And here's Henderson in the foot race. He will not outrun Williams, and he went crashing into him. And it's going to be against Gus.
The foul against Gus on the play. Unfortunately, Henderson couldn't control the ball. He had ML Carr down court wide open. He couldn't find the handle, but he got a real break there.
Sikma for Lagarde.
Sikma returns, and Lagarde is out for Lenny Wilkins. 48-45. Sonics 4:50 to go. First half.
Go 2 minutes. Yo!
Robey. Shelton quickly picks up a rebound. Down. Court length pass to Henderson. He won't get it. There's a situation where an injured player like Henderson has to be just a little careful. He cannot allow himself to go totally out of control with that injury and crash into the fans back there either. However, the pass certainly was overthrown.
Larry Bird back in now for Boston.
Carr with a steal. Back to Maxwell. Great defense by Carr.
A very smart player. When you get a player like ML Carr that can play forward or at a guard equally well.
You know, against most teams, one of these teams would have already broken this game open. But these teams are so good, and they keep doing the necessary things that they're never out of the game. Seattle was really outplaying Boston for a while, and they were still only 5 to 7 points up.
Hey, if Lonnie Shelton continues to improve, Bill and Hot Rod, he's going to be right up there with the best power forwards in this game. He is something. He's a load right now. He's just leaning on Maxwell and keeping him out. Bird. Shelton dished it back and ran it down. On a runner. Larry Bird is off. He's got an open man. Henderson.
Henderson from
It's a
Bird.
way to keep your head up when you come out of that rebound, right? To see people down court. Bird did it perfectly for the layup.
Carr picking up Brown in the backcourt. Dennis Johnson soon to return. Bird got it away from Bailey. Celtics trying to pull back to within a point. 8 on the shot clock. 7, 6, 5. They are within a point. Henderson awaits Williams.
Shades of Super Sunday right here.
Gus maneuvering, coming up on Henderson. Henderson was right there, snapped the rebound, and here's 3-on-1 Celtics. Carr, layup, and foul as he made his move, and the crowd did not like the call.
He should have put that ball to the middle. He got away with a break there. 3-on-1. Get it to the middle where you got the option left or right. But he did draw the foul, and he'll get a couple of free throws. Got a timeout.
Tonight's lineup on CBS starts with the popular 60 Minutes, continues with Archie Bunker's Place, and then One Day at a Time, Alice, the Jeffersons, and Trapper John, M.D. Here in the Kingdome, in Seattle, this is the play. You can watch the rebounding muscle underneath.
Watch Larry Bird finally get this ball. I mean, they're really going after it. Ball was tipped out, and then here's the break. Carr took it down the right side. Freddie Brown moved in his path. But as you surmised, Brent, he thought he was going to go for the fake, but he didn't. Freddie Brown got the foul. His first, Seattle over the limit. So as play resumes, M.L. Carr has 3 chances to make 2.
Now, you may have noticed the last few minutes the Sonics aren't fast breaking as well as they were earlier in the game. 2 reasons for that. One is the type of shots that Boston's taking. The other reason is because of fouls and fatigue and things like that, coaches have to get out of sync sometimes with their combinations. Because of style, speed, and etc., some players don't play as well together doing certain things. And so it's trying to rest the guys and keep a combination out there that works to do the things you want to do. Sometimes you get out of sync. Like, for example, when he's resting Dennis, you have to put a different forward in to compensate for that. So you get out of the running game.
And because they were out of sync, Boston was able to get the lead. So the Sonics have gone back to their starting 5. And Dennis Johnson got Carr in the air, missed on the shot, but John Johnson hustled a rebound away from Rick Robey. And on the fresh 24, Gus Williams rises up. Coming down with an offensive rebound, no foul, loose underneath, an awful lot of contact without a whistle. It'll go to the Celtics.
Hey, Rod, there's no place for the faint of heart in there.
You come under here, boy, you better be ready to play.
1:30 left, first half. Celtics looking for a decent shot against a tough defense, and Bird on that underhand layup. And he's devastating because he'll go underhanded when they're looking for the overhand shot.
That's a tremendous shot for a rookie to already perfect. Most players being in this league 8 or 10 years will take that shot over bigger opponents. Here's Bird doing it just like an old veteran.
Sikma. Maxwell looking for the foul, and Jack just calmly hit field goal.
A little bump and run. They pulled up and drilled it through.
That's the time remaining in the first half, and we'll have halftime highlights, including the Celtics and Larry Bird in action against Portland. Williams protesting the foul call as Henderson took that first quick step into the middle. That's 2 fouls on Gus Williams.
Where the penalty can hurt you. Henderson will get 2 free throws.
I know, Fortune, I know you said it, but I'm telling something to gut.
What a difference a year has made with the Boston Celtics. Already they've won more games than they did in each of the last 2 seasons. Best record in the NBA. New coach. Great rookie in Larry Bird, healthy tiny Archibald, pick up M.L. Carr, and they got rid of the players who were not hustling to practice for them. Johnson got it down. Tied at 56. This one's as good as advertised.
Don't look for the last shot. 15 on the shot clock, 19 on the game clock.
Stolen by the Wizard over the head to Larry Bird. Tapping it, there were only Sonics in behind him. Last shot time. Just clean blocked by Bird to Shelton. With time running out, no. Sam Schulman saying, wait a minute, check with the scorer's table.
Basket will not count.
Now, wait a minute, we've got a difference of opinion here. Hold it.
Shot. You can see the clock playing here. Here's the rebound. The clock's still in there. 1 second. That shot still counted. Yes.
Now, wait a minute.
It did count.
It did count. Jake O'Donnell has ruled, the trail official, that it counted. Indeed.
That was Bill Sarr, so he overruled him. As Dave Cowens, very somber, as he goes off the floor with his Boston Celtic teammates.
So the basket is good, and it's 58-56. The trailing official, Jake O'Donnell, ruled that there was a second left. We'll be back with the NBA highlights. The Atlantic Division, the Boston Celtics, with the best record in the NBA, continued to lead. And on this road trip coming into today, they have won 4 of 5 games. I want to show you the opening basket by Larry Bird, Friday night in Portland. Took the pass from Archibald. Now watch him cut in inside, right down the lane, shift over to the left hand, somehow maintain his balance, and get the scoop shot layup. Now for the Celtics and Bill Fitch, Cornbread Maxwell, a strong rebounder. And when he comes out of there, he doesn't have the open man right away. Puts it down, then goes to Chris Ford, who is a deadly shooter when he's left alone from that side. The main man on the backcourt for the Celtics, as we have pointed out in the first half, Tiny Archibald, completely healthy. Now Ford will draw Portland's two guards into the middle. He'll go back to Tiny. Torczyk tries to recover, but Archibald comes in and hits the two-pointer. The newest member of the Trailblazers is Calvin Nat, formerly of New Jersey. In this game against Boston, Nat scored 20 points, but he is still working at learning Jack Ramsey's complex system with the Blazers. And the man who is doing it all in Boston is the Birdman. With Dave Cowens out, Bill Fitch went to him and said, "You've got to pick up the scoring slack," and pick it up indeed. Watch him here with another one of those spinners. Fouled on the play, went to the line, hit the three-pointer, and the Celtics win again, beating the Blazers in Portland 106-91. Now in the Central Division, Atlanta still ahead of San Antonio, with Houston quickly closing in. This was action from the Chicago Stadium. San Antonio on the road. The main man, George Gervin, doing it all again for Doug Moe. 28 points in this game, including this layup here. Artis Gilmore is rounding back into shape. He underwent a knee operation. He's playing his best ball of the year right now for Jerry Sloan. And the rookie from UCLA, David Greenwood, scored 30 points against the Spurs. He was particularly tough in tight. Chicago has too much talent to be down where they are in the standings. Reggie Theus, their leader in the backcourt. Watch him take it back from Gilmore. Check and see that he's beyond the three-point line and go up with the shot. But there was simply too much of the Iceman. San Antonio rolled again, beating Chicago 131-124. The big story in the Midwest, Milwaukee stalking Kansas City. The Bucks had won 5 in a row with Bob Lanier at center when they took on Houston in Houston. It was Lanier matched up against Moses Malone. And Lanier came away with the best of it, scoring 21 points, including 2 right here. The top three-point shooter in the NBA is Rick Barry. In 4 games, he threw in 18 three-pointers, including 3 in this contest against Milwaukee to keep the Rockets right in the thick of it. Moses Malone's strength, of course, is offensive rebounding. Milwaukee does not control this missed shot by Moses, and off a deflection, Malone will take it back and go on in for the basket. He scored 20 points against the Bucks and Lanier. Brian Winters, always dangerous when he has the ball, and we'll see the Bucks on the NBA Game of the Week next Sunday in Kansas City. On that play, Winters drew the foul, went to the line, and hit the free throw. You'll also be seeing Marcus Johnson. With a second to go in the third period, watch Marcus take the court length pass, go up with the shot, watch the referee in the back, showing you the chance is good, and he's got it. And Milwaukee wins its 6th straight with Bob Lanier at center. In the Pacific Division, tight race between Seattle and Los Angeles. But there's a new man alive and well suddenly in the Pacific Division, playing for San Diego. The redhead is back, Bill Walton. Playing every other game right now for Gene Shue. He put it on the floor against Elvin Hayes in Washington and went on in for the layup. In this sequence, with Wes Unseld guarding him, Walton will go to the turnaround. But the Bullets are revitalized since the arrival of John Williamson from the Nets. What Williamson does best of all is score, and he has given the Bullets some offensive punch. And when's the last time you saw Wes Unseld dunk? He usually just goes for that easy layup, but watch Big Wes get up down here. And the Bullets win one on the road, beating San Diego 108-103. And there's a game tonight, Golden State against Portland.
ML, you came off the bench where you've done so many times this year. You had 11 points in the second quarter. Great basketball game, just like on Super Sunday when that game went in double overtime.
Well, Rod, anytime these two clubs meet, it will be a good ball game. Both teams have a lot of quality players, and right now both teams are top of their division. So, you know, anytime we meet, it'll be a tough game. As far as coming off the bench, it's my role. That six-man role, and it's something that I'm trying to do and do well.
Last year you started every game with Detroit. Now you're coming off the bench. It doesn't bother you?
Well, not at all, because, you know, now I'm with the club that I wanted to be with. We're winning. It's a good situation. The chemistry is good. It was a tough situation playing in Detroit, even though I was playing a lot of minutes.
How about playing guard or forward? Do you have a preference?
Well, I'm the handyman. No, really, whatever role they ask me to do, it really doesn't have a preference. I just feel that anytime I'm on the floor, I'm capable of doing the things that I do best, and that's get down and play the tough defense, get out on the break, and be like a catalyst on the club.
When are you going to get the big redhead back, Dave Cowens?
Well, Dave is starting to work out a little bit. Hopefully, within another 4 or 5 days, he'll make the return. Anytime you lose a guy like Dave, it hurts the club, but we've been doing well without him.
Okay, and you've been doing well yourself. Good luck to you.
Thank you, Rod.
All right, Brent.
All right, Hot Rod, the handyman indeed. ML Carr with 11 points in that first half. High point man for the Celtics. Just about ready to start the second half in the Kingdome in Seattle. We'll be right back.
The preceding announcement was furnished by the National Basketball Association.
Bill Fitch, you really had to do some coaching now. Dave Cowens has been out of the lineup. You had to go with Robey and Fernstein, and now in a backcourt situation, same thing, and you've done a remarkable job.
Well, you know, coaching is if anybody can push the buttons, and the guy's got to do it. And you look good or you look bad.
How about
no
ML
magic
Carr?
to that. ML is back in that backcourt, and I think we had to put him back there to get some size. We talked a little bit at halftime about maybe we shouldn't let him get so many offensive rebounds. And maybe wasn't the word I used.
How about you didn't? How about you talked before the game a little bit when we were off the air about trying to stop Gus Williams getting that long pass for a layup. He got a couple in the first half.
Yeah, he got a couple, and it wasn't Tiny's. Tiny penetrated. Gus took off, and Chris was still standing over in the three-point area asking for the ball instead of getting back. And sometimes that's going to happen. Now, he cheats at one end. I think we probably burned him. If you saw Tiny get a layup in there with all the big people, it was because Gus was going the other way and Tiny was going underneath for the layup. So I think it balanced out the first half. If we can just handle the boards a little bit better and take care of the ball offensively, we haven't had quite as good a shooting as we're going to have in order to win this ball game.
Bill, you haven't asked Larry Bird to pick up that scoring slack with the absence of Cowens yet. He has done it on his own.
Well, that's the type of person he is. He's smart along those lines. I think the worst thing I can do is say, hey, we got to have extra points out of you. Right away, the psych is gone. But you draw a couple plays for him and put him in. He's smart enough to realize that somebody's got to get him, and he's a pretty good candidate.
All right, Bill. Good luck to you second half.
Thanks, Hot Rod.
Bill Fitch, let's go back to Brent Musburger and Bill.
All right, Hot Rod, thank you very much. But, of course, Lenny Wilkins is over there now working with the NBA champions as we're ready to start the second half. And a marvelous job that Lenny has done with this team. And with time running out, here is that shot again. Rebound, blocked away. And with a second left, Shelton fired. Now, the referee underneath the basket did not have a good shot of the clock. Jake O'Donnell did. He ruled it was good, and you can see the halftime stats. Bill Russell has already pointed out the key. The Celtics, even though they're trailing in that rebounding, have hit 50%. So they haven't left all that many misses to be cleaned up down there at that end, and they're right there with them. And you saw a marvelous shot, Bill Russell, of Paul Silas and Dave Cowens seated together over there. Silas dropped by to. They were very close on that last Celtic team to win a championship. What is this?
That is a Musburger. And you shouldn't eat those things. That's fattening.
Yeah, but you need that protein, that good northwestern beef, so you got to have that. Some other scores from around the league. Atlanta over hapless Detroit, 54-37 at the half. And we'll see Milwaukee next week in Kansas City with Bob Lanier and Milwaukee leading San Antonio. How about that shootout? Houston over Denver, 53-48 as we start the second half. And the Lakers leading Washington by 3 at the half. Phoenix over New Jersey. And John Johnson, as he made a step, was fouled by Tiny Archibald as he moved inside, and Indiana over Chicago in the second, 44-20. So the Bulls still can't get it together. Sikma John Johnson tried to save it by bouncing it off the Celtics, but he got it to Chris Ford. Celtics going for the tie. Bird cuts it through, and Shelton got a hand on it. Maxwell, we're tied.
Maxwell, with that last follow at baskets, played very well, Brent. He's a very quiet hero with this ball club, too, at both ends.
Ford reached over Dennis and fouled him.
Now, this part of the game is one of the most important parts of a basketball game, the start of the second half. Because the guys are coming out cold, and you're trying to establish something. And once it's established now, if one team can get ahead of the other enough in establishing the game, the other team, no matter what the score, is going to be playing catch-up for the whole second half.
Sikma. Offensive foul as Archibald came in.
Sikma moved into him. You can take a look again here. Tiny, of course, a left-hander coming from the right side. Put it up with the right hand, and there with the left arm, partially pushed away, and they called him for the offensive foul. Another look from a different angle. Put the ball up with the right hand. Sikma moved into him. And it's Boston on the steal.
Something you don't see very often. John Johnson lost it, and Chris Ford came back down for the tying points. Now, as the Sonics come back on the attack, you'll watch them frequently go through John Johnson. When he came into the NBA out of Iowa, he was more a scoring forward, and now he does a lot of things. Now, here he is. He usually will be the middleman in setting up their offense when they have to go to set plays. DJ forcing one, off iron, and he'll get it back. In the right spot that time. Blocked by Bird. And everything's coming back to Dennis. 10 on the shot clock. Now 3, 2. Get a shot, and it's 3-on-1. Tiny. And a chance for the three-pointer as Archibald goes for the crowd.
Right into the crowd. Great play. It looked like he was going to pass off, but he took it right to the basket. The defensive man, DJ, moved in. He carried the ball right up over him and got the layup. Went into the crowd. They called a foul, but I didn't think DJ laid a hand on him. Got a timeout. 62-60 Boston.
And the girls are as lovely as the scenery around Seattle. Bill Russell's hometown, and yes, he did provide dinner last night. A marvelous home-cooked meal, and I can report that Bill Russell's wife is a great cook.
I'll tell you something, Brent. He's the only guy I know that can convert his closet into a condominium.
Here's Sikma. Had it knocked away. Gathers it back in, and it's Gus Manuveri. Off the glass, Sikma. There's that offensive rebounding that Bill Russell was talking about. The strength underneath by the NBA champions.
They jam you into the board and get you so close underneath. You haven't had a chance on a long bound, and Sikma was right there. Perfect position.
The Lakers have been making moves to try and offset that, looking ahead to the playoffs. Archibald's off, snapped down by John Johnson. Quick pass out of Gus. Missed the layup, and they have missed several layups here.
Well, that was a perfect feed, too. Right in stride.
Maxwell tossing it up, goes to the floor, drawing the foul. The Celtics up by a point.
He had no intention of trying to make that.
Second team.
He accomplished what he wanted. Shelton gets the foul, his third, and the second team foul
2 shots
against Boston, rather against Seattle. Lenny Wilkins looks on.
If he tried to make that shot, he would have been wearing the same kind of brace that Henderson's wearing.
The Cornbread was very concerned about the fans behind the glass here at the Kingdome. He was talking to Larry Bird about shooting free throws and all the distractions, and they're rather quiet in there today.
They won't be when it comes playoff time.
They sure won't. 3-point Celtic lead at 8:49 left in period 3. Sonics try to set a play, and Maxwell muscled the ball out of bounds that time on Sikma. 6 seconds on the shot clock.
See how they drop in on him, they double up, and right there, the contact made as Maxwell knocked it out of bounds. Good team defense.
Oh, Ford had a hand on it.
We got it before that shot. We got 3 seconds.
3-second violation. It'll go over on the turnover to the Celtics.
DJ shows referee Bill Sar his right hand, as if to say, look at this. He scratched me. He bit me with no foul.
The lob to Archibald. Maxwell on a runner. Going to foul again, and the Celtics with some impressive ball movement here.
What Maxwell did was he got the ball, he caught the defense coming toward him. And once you get defense committed, you've got to go to the hoop because you'll get at least a layup or at least 2 free throws no matter what.
Freddie Brown will replace DJ, who has his 3rd foul here early in the 3rd quarter.
Now the Sonics built an 11-point lead with their starting lineup, and as Bill Russell pointed out, when Lenny went to the bench, they got out of sync, and they really have not been back in that.
But sometimes it takes a half a game to get the team back after you get them out of sync.
Shelton moving it, and the Celtic defense is stretching and clawing. The lob to Robey. It's a pretty pass.
Robey. That's an excellent pass by Tony Archibald then, because he didn't pass it to the man. He just dropped it out in front of him, let him run to it.
There's the play again. Perfect feed, as you mentioned, Brent. Robey ran right under it, carefully laid it up and in, and Seattle takes a timeout. Celtics by 8.
Sylvia Schulman on the left is the real owner of this team. That's her friend Sam there on the right. Sam Schulman, of course, responsible for bringing Bill Russell to the great Northwest. And there is the lovely wife of Lenny Wilkins, Marilyn Wilkins, who is now coaching the SuperSonics. And in talking to Sam about Russell's tenure up here, nothing but praise, because he said, I needed someone to bring identity to this basketball team, and Bill Russell did that. And he also left us with a great nucleus, and we've built upon it. Sikma waiting, pops the pass now to Freddie Brown. Sends it back to John Johnson. The Sonics try to get that offense back into sync. Maxwell yanking it off.
Boston has really played good defense in this quarter. They had a hand in the face in practically every shot. That time, Johnson had a hand right up there. He couldn't get the shot away cleanly.
Here's Bird. John Johnson right with him. And Larry gets inside. What a remarkable rookie he is.
He has the unbelievable dipsy-do moves. We saw some of those at halftime in the highlights. Incredible shooter, and he knows what he's doing at all times.
Offensive foul on Freddie Brown.
I think what you'll notice about Larry Bird, to tell you how good he is, his point total never indicates his contribution. Because when he's playing his best, sometimes he'll go 4 or 5 minutes playing great ball without taking a shot.
Nice little underhand right-hander you just looked at.
And 45 points the other night against Phoenix. Bird had a hand on it, and Robey's got it back. And then Sikma sealed him off, and he really wanted the foul call underneath, and Wilkins is not happy. It's a 10-point Boston lead at 6:35 in the 3rd. JJ on a runner.
That basket will count. But he was fouled. Take a look again. He's got the step defensively. Larry Bird gets the foul. He's got him beaten right there. And he bumped him with a body as JJ softly put it off the glass to get the field goal. Now for Larry Bird, his 2nd foul.
So many times when the Sonics need a lift, it comes from John Johnson. Maxwell, Celtics spread the floor. Maxwell inside. Robey with a left-hand Sikma yanked it off. Freddie drew the foul as he stepped inside, but he sure wanted the field goal and a chance for a three-pointer. But instead, he'll have a chance to lose 2 free throws.
I think he's disappointed himself. He didn't get the puck. Good move. He went under the arm of Ford, jackknifed the shot off the glass, but did not get the field goal, but was fouled by Ford, his third. More importantly, the Celtics now with 14 fouls. You got 5:37 remaining to be played in the third quarter.
You see, one of the important things to do when you're trying to regroup is to keep trying different speeds. Now, what the Sonics are trying to do now, they're just running it up just to see if they can work out a rhythm so they can get it back together.
Archibald was tied up. Maxwell ran it down. Here's Bird. Shelton blocked it. 7 seconds, 6 seconds, and Larry Bird came right back after having one knocked in his face and hit the field goal.
It's a mark of a great player there. Not only that he got it back and went right back up against the same man, but he realized the clock was running down on the 24 seconds, and he had to get it away quickly.
Brown goes downtown. Robey was out the screen, and Gus comes with time. Ford. 4 seconds, 3 seconds, 2 seconds, 1 second. Good.
A student of the clock.
Shelton. Maxwell. 3-on-2. The Celtics are hustling back. Now it's 5-on-5 as Gus Williams gets into it, and Chris Ford on the drive. Chris Ford.
They're going to come back with Paul Salas next time they can get him in a game. They need some help off the board, Seattle.
JJ short. Ford. Celtics have done this without going to ML Carr and Eric Bernstein this time. Off of Robey's hands. Couldn't control the pass as Archibald came through the tunnel down there, and Silas into the lineup for Wilkins. Boston is up by 10. 3:30 to go in the third. Into the game, had a rebound, but could not hit the field goal, and that's what he wants to do right away, is contribute as quickly as he can. He's mad at himself for missing the layup.
Paul spun that ball too hard. He had the easy layup. You'll notice he'll backdoor it right there, and the English carried it across the basket, and the Seattle SuperSonics lose the ball on a play where they should have had 2 points.
Double team the ball, leaves Bird open, 3-point try. Taken down by Sikma. Here's Williams. The Celtics are back. And they came flying. Maxwell, Williams cleans up. You cannot get basketball any better than it's been here this afternoon. It is like the 7th game of a playoff series out here. Ford.
Sikma and Robey are really getting in a shoving match under those boards at both ends.
Downtown. Yanked off by Maxwell. Archibald studies the deployment. Into Maxwell with that hook shot. Shelton's off. Archibald around the screen. Williams is inside of him, though, and now it's down to 8.
is the type of player, Brent, that can get you back in the game in a hurry. He can try with the basketball.
Brown. Out of bounds, losing control. And there will be a timeout. So with 1:25 to go in the third, Boston leads the defending NBA champions, 82-74. The attendance today, 28,726. That is the 14th time that the Sonics have attracted more than 20,000 to the Kingdome, and they are coming to their feet right now for a standing ovation for the champions. Rick Robey taking the ball out of bounds after that turnover by Freddie Brown. And the Celtics can rebuild that 10-point lead. Silas with Bird, Sikma with Robey, Shelton with Maxwell. Williams comes out to Ford. Silas chasing Bird all over the state of Washington. And Larry gets inside it and yanks it down. It was pure hustle by Bird from the weak side to the ball side, and he just burned Silas.
They muscled it on the first try, and then he went right back in quickly. That's the secret of getting that rebound and getting the field goal. He goes back so quickly, can't react defensively.
Double team the ball. Quickly to Brown. Now the last minute of the third quarter, and again it's Robey from Archibald. Linking free. Sonics careless getting back.
That really hurts you when you work real hard to get a basket, and before you can take a deep breath, they got another one. They got one right back. That hurts psychologically more than anything.
Down.
Boy, he has been hot. Freddie Brown can bring him back. Great outside shooter, the best.
Knocked away from Robey. Last shot time, and there's a whistle in the backcourt.
It's a backcourt foul. Automatic two-shot foul. Now the Celtics are over the limit, so it'll be 3 to make 2. They have a little momentum going now, and with these 2 free throws, that'll put them to within 6. And you have only 6 seconds left in the third quarter.
Tom Lagarde will give Jack Sikma a rest. Lagarde reports in.
All right, 3 to make 2. Come on, man. Come on.
Lagarde's out of North Carolina. 6'10", 230 pounds. Came to the Sonics. Played with Denver.
It's remarkable to have a player like Freddie Brown on your club, Brandon. He can't start because of people like Dennis Johnson and Gus Williams. That gives him 3 great guards.
Actually, he prefers not to start.
Now the penalty.
Comes in there with that right arm cut.
Sonics are 1 short of the limit with 6 seconds to go. 5 team fouls against Boston. That's 16 points for Freddie Brown off Brooklyn bench today. Williams on the steal, and there's a whistle and a foul. So a wise foul to give. Gus Williams knew it, and with 3 seconds, they're going to have to take the ball out of bounds. Quickly to Robey, back to Bird. Bird with a 3-pointer off to the side at the end of the third period.
Here's a play a moment ago. When they talk about that quick, Larry Bird will get this shot away, miss it, then come back and get his own rebound and quickly go up and score. Right here he'll miss, quickly goes in and gets a basket. Fantastic move by one of the great rookies in basketball. At the end of 3,
best is yet to come. From the Kingdome in Seattle, it's the Boston Celtics leading the defending NBA champions. champion Seattle SuperSonics 86-80 as we start the best quarter in the NBA. And you can see their championship banner on the left. And I have a question for Bill Russell and Hot Rod. Bill Fitch went that entire third period without a substitute. Can these five keep it up?
Yes.
Yes.
Thank you very much. Bird cutting the lane. Chris Ford. Taken down by Silas. Stolen on a lazy pass. Archibald anticipated it. He was stalking it all the way. And Paul simply did not pick him up. Brown is still in there, the guard. So Wilkins is resting his starters right now. Maxwell on a runner, comes up. Offensive foul. Over to the Sonics.
That's a good call. The guard stepped in his path. Maxwell overcommitted. Not a good call. Referee right on the play. So Seattle will get the ball back.
John Johnson, Jack Sikma, and Dennis Johnson are all resting for the Sonics. Shelton makes it a 4-point game.
They want a timeout. Boston Celtics don't want to let the momentum get too far in favor of Seattle.
So we will have fights next Saturday and Sunday on the Sports Spectacular. That Rossman fight will be a 10-rounder.
The reason that Fitch called that timeout was a couple of reasons. First, to give him a play, but most important is to try to get Seattle off a little bit because they're anxious to play because they think they got a thing going, and you try to throw them off just a little bit.
Lagarde's rebound, hands the ball to Gus, and they can pull to within 2 points. Brown goes inside, and Heine was right there.
Should have taken a shot that time. He was leaping and leaning in, but he had a shot.
1 foot inside the 3-point line, so it would not have counted. 88-82. It was close.
Seattle makes 6 turnovers in the third quarter, Brent, to only 2 by Boston. Here was a big one they just made there when Brown threw it away.
As Shelton began his cut, he was fouled.
Take a look again. Shelton will cut inside. Right there, contact made, and a foul will be charged against Maxwell, his 4th.
Brown whistle as he crashed into the floor. And now that's 4 on Chris Ford also.
Tell you one thing, the way Freddie Brown's been playing, and it's been good, one thing Boston can be thankful of is that it's keeping Dennis Johnson out of the game. As long as Freddie's playing well.
Here is the first substitute of the second half by the Celtics, and it was the man who was their leading scorer in the first half, M.L. Carr.
He's been sitting around quite a while. And that's the hard part about being coming off the bench, is that the situation may call for you sit 10 or 12 minutes straight, and that's really hard to come off then because you get cold and the muscles don't feel right, and you got to go in and start. You don't have time to warm up.
He remarked at halftime that he's adjusting to this role, however, and he's enjoying it.
He'll be in the backcourt as Ford is out. It's a 5-point Boston lead, 9:51. These two teams played 2 overtimes in Boston on January 20th. Robey. Bird at 2 seconds. Tapped in by Robey, who stayed with it. That's a short, ran it down, pushed out of bounds.
Bird doesn't like that call, but it's a foul on Larry Bird. He pushed all the way on the play. Didn't complain too much. You look at it again. The shot was missed here. They fight for the rebound. Watch Bird hit Tiny right there with the body, bumped him out of bounds.
3 fouls on Bird. Sikma. Back for Wilkins. 3-pointer. 26. Robey left open. Silas to Gus. Maneuver, there was a whistle, and it would have counted if he had scored, too.
That would have counted. That's a continuation move. As Jake O'Donnell indicated, if he had made it, it would have counted. On the fouls, charged Archibald, his third. And another good move by backcourt star Gus Williams, leaning in after the fake.
Fernston replaces Robey. Gus Williams with 23 points and Freddie Brown with 20. Third to ML Carr, held him off with one hand and threw the ball over there.
The fans here wanted offense on the play. Look at it again.
That was a good call.
Yeah, look here. He hooked his arm. Got a little dance together. Carr went for the shot. They called the foul. Freddie Brown.
He said I wasn't holding him too hard.
That's most unusual. Carr smartly did not try to bring the other arm around. He just went ahead with the shot with the right hand. Jake explains the call to Lenny Wilkins.
And Lenny might not have bought the explanation that time.
Right you are.
92-88. Two big free throws by ML. Gus Williams. Sikma is tied up on the double team. Now he comes free. Stepped inside Fernston and attracted a foul.
The fish doesn't like this call. He'll turn, just quickly make a little move as Bernstein had to play him tight. But he hooked him as Sikma made the drive to the baseline right side.
And the Celtics are over the limit at 8-18. And only one team fouled against Seattle. So the Sonics can do some damage at the free throw line. Jack Sikma, Illinois Wesleyan, helping that one. Can pull the champions to within two.
Wonder how, Russ, how would you guard this guy? He shoots the ball so well outside.
I come over him on his right side and stay as close to him. Every time he inhale, I have to exhale.
Good pass inside. Bird stepped beyond Silas, and Bird wanted goaltending after he shot it up.
That was a good block by Shelton on the ball, but the foul occurred away. We'll take a look at it again. Inside the Bird, right there reaching in with Silas for the foul as Shelton blocked the ball. That was a good block. Bird will get two free throws.
Bird is too quick for Paul Silas. Silas will have to go to some guile down here to seal up. That's a great breakfast cereal. You can take it with bananas or strawberries. Downtown. Short. ML Carr's got an open man. Gus Williams in the step. Quickly to Freddie. Freddie maneuvers. Sikma with an offensive rebound, and there was a whistle.
Bernstein had him by the arm. I believe that's the man they're going to give the foul to as he grabbed the rebound. He couldn't come away with it. Watch Sikma grab the rebound on the miss by Brown. Inside, right here, he's got his arm hooked. And they make the call.
Only question there was who was holding who.
Yeah. You're in Seattle.
17 for Sikma. And he's hit 3 key free throws here, and Bill Fitch was adjusting the knot on his tie.
Oh, I'm going to go touch that line.
It was a high necktie. 94-92. Celts by 2 and 7:27. Good move by Fernston. ML Carr somehow got it to go in. Celtics yelling 3 seconds, no calls. This field goal pulls him back to within 2, and Jack Sikma has taken charge of the offense at the free throw line and also inside.
Dennis Johnson is getting set to check in along with Johnny Johnson for Seattle.
Archibald maneuvering around Gus Williams, and Gus fouled him, and here comes a couple of rested Warriors. The Johnsons.
And I mean, they're good Warriors, too. They see. Both excellent pressure players and in tight situations.
Silas is out. Brown is out. The Sonics' 5 starters are in the game at 6:44, and they trail it by 2. Good move by ML Carr. And he regains control, and Gus Williams blocked it. A lot of time, because after he yanked it back down, they had a fresh 24, don't forget. So a good 15 seconds on that shot clock right now. Johnson tried to watch the left on ML and got back to steal it. And here's Williams for the tie. Oh, it was ML Carr tomahawking Gus Williams.
I don't think either player's hurt. They're all right. Fans are booing, but it was a good try, an honest try on the play. As the ball was taken away by J.J., his pass, Gus had to wait on it. Now Carr comes over, blocked the ball, but his body went right into him to get the foul.
Now he will have 3 to make the 2 free throws that would tie this game. One more and we'll be deadlocked at 96 with 6:15 to go. Here's the penalty. And he has struggled a bit, hasn't he, on his first 2. Missing that time. A 1-point Boston lead at 6:13. Left hand Fernston. Shelton's powerful rebound goes to Gus. 3 on 2 and Carr fouling John Johnson.
Foul on ML Carr, and there'll be a shooting foul, 3 to make 2. Super pass. Gus looked left, threw the ball right there to contact. J.J. will be at the line. And what a rebound by Shelton to start the whole play. We looked at it from another angle. Here it is, Gus to J.J. and contact by Carr. This foul situation has made a big difference in the quarter.
That tied it. With 5 minutes and 51 seconds to go. Les Habecker and Lenny Wilkins both up yelling instructions for the Sonics. Bird double team. Back to ML Carr. Carr on a runner, high. Whistle as he came inside.
Now Dennis Johnson.
Here's fouled. He'll get a couple of free throws. DJ got him on the arm.
14 fouls.
Free throws. Now the Sonics have 14 fouls. Boston already over the limit. You're allowed 4. The 5th one puts you in a penalty, so they're even up from here on in as far as fouls.
Deadlocked again. Celtics lead it.
Now we can see why these 2 teams have such good records.
the screen. Now he turns on the bird and he's short, but John Johnson with rebounding position rejected. Gus Williams is back. Here's Carr. Great power dunk by M.L. Carr off the steal in the break.
That was Cedric Maxwell that made the great block on the shot to set the whole play up.
Princeton switches on Williams. Gus has the Sonics back to within a point. M.L. with a left hand and into Shelton and fouled.
He is having a great fourth quarter, M.L. Carr.
Fourth personal.
Dave Coward's on the Boston bench. He kind of shot that one in, a defensive shot. Brady caught the ball, and his momentum, I think he would have traveled. He'd have just throw it up quickly to draw the foul, and he got the job done.
Lynn Swan would have been proud of that catch, too.
Here's the pass. You watch him catch the ball, just quickly throw it up. His momentum right here would have carried him off the floor. And a foul occurred, contact made by Lonnie Shelton. His fourth foul.
Princeton. And he was fouled. Coming into Sikma, and Lenny Wilkins is really upset.
Sikma with a foul.
Forced the contact. He leaned in. That's a smart way to go to the basket on the rebound play. We'll take a look at it again. The missed free throw right here. Leaned right in. And Sikma, of course, leaned back towards him with the ball. And when it's close like that, they're going to give the ball and the shots to the offensive player.
Speaks perfect Italian and picked it up in a couple of years in Italy. Mamma mia, a couple of free throws. 103-99. Celtics have got a lead at 4:35. Shelton. And Princeton had a hand on it and comes out and it's stolen back. That time, loose Shelton. Princeton should have passed, as Bill Russell pointed out in the first half. Three-point attempt. Rattles around and John Johnson hooked the miss. Has Larry Bird had a rest yet in the game?
Yes.
Second quarter. Here's Henderson.
Bill Fitch told him he could sleep during the summer.
Hooked by Princeton. Quick move. He took the pass and went right to it.
That's a big one, Brent. That puts Boston up by 6 points with 3:43 left.
Timeout. 3 minutes and 43 seconds to go. And next week, another good one. Milwaukee, Kansas City. And you'll see Bob Lanier in his new Milwaukee uniform next Sunday. The Kemper Arena due to reopen Wednesday night. Seattle will be there. Commissioner Larry O'Brien, I understand, is going to travel out for that game.
You know, with a lot of the trades they just made, there are a couple teams that were kind of out of it, are now strong contenders. Milwaukee's greatly improved with Lanier, and I think that Washington has come up with John Williamson has helped them, because that was one of the problems they had with some outside scoring.
3:35. And the champions down by 6 and with possession. Ball is double teamed. Maxwell and Henderson. And 1 second on the shot clock. A three-point attempt. Offensive rebound by Sikma is critical.
Critical basket there. They really needed that one. Larry Bird seems to be injured on the play. Oh, boy. They're really concerned now, the trainer along with Coach Bill Fitch. It's his right hand. He has had a bad thumb. A finger on that hand.
Sit down. Retract. Hey, go back as far as you can.
Ray Melchiori is looking at that ankle, and you can see the pain.
Robey is in for Bird.
Here's the play, Brent, a moment ago. The rebound went to Sikma. He slowly turns, sees the opening, takes the shot, and inside, here's Bird. Jockeying right there, and I believe the legs got tripped up. You couldn't tell by that. Take another look at it from a different angle.
He's out of the game. And Robey, Fernston, and Maxwell go up front with Henderson and Carr in the backcourt. Larry Bird is forced out with 3 minutes to go. And the Celtics leading the Sonics by 4 points.
Bird has taken his right shoe off over on the Celtic bench.
Henderson comes inside to Fernston, and a chance for the three-pointer. Eric Fernston going back to Henderson, who set that play up.
Shelton with the foul.
That's perfect timing, Brent, on the rollout. Right there, going to the basket left side, took the pass. Bernstein laid it up and in, and he's fouled on the play by Shelton, his fifth.
I expect to see Larry Bird back because on that type of ankle sprain, if they tighten the wrap on it, he'll be able to play. It may be sore tomorrow, but he'll be able to play now because with a tight wrap, and there's no danger of him really hurting himself any worse.
108-101 now. Dave Collins watching as Dennis Johnson comes in for the Sonics, came up on Fernston and drew the foul. This will Pete Maravich, who has not played today for Boston, trying to round himself back into shape.
Henderson got the foul, so we're in the penalties. DJ will have 3 to make 2.
And you can look to see Seattle trying to go inside almost every time down now. They're going to be working plays that they trouble with nothing longer than 8 feet. When they get a chance to work a play, it'll be something inside. They won't work for the outside shot at all. Because if you work it inside at a time like this, you got a better chance of making shots. Plus, there's always a chance of getting free throws.
5-point Boston lead. Pressure by the Sonics. Henderson, it's Maxwell across the timeline.
Bird is over on the bench, hurriedly putting his shoe back on, so perhaps we will see him again.
Carr, 6 on the shot. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Henderson got it away. In time. Loose underneath. Tied up.
Jump ball.
Bill Fitch doesn't like that call. Lonnie thinks, I guess it's all right. And there's a shot of Larry Bird, lacing up his sneaker.
Maxwell and Sikma.
Maxwell and Sikma will jump with 2 minutes and 9 seconds to go in regulation time. DJ runs it down.
2 minutes left in the game. 2 minutes.
Williams slides inside. Misfired after he got open on the runner.
Thank you, babe. Green, right over here.
Going to the Celtics. Dennis Johnson, you can hear, protesting that he'd been elbowed in the chest. To no avail. Freddie Brown will soon return for the Sonics. They may have to go looking for a three-pointer, which bailed them out in game 1 of this series in Boston. That one by Dennis Johnson. M.L. Carr. Fouled, and it goes to the Sonics.
Now here comes Freddie Brown. Here I think they're going to be forced to look for a three-point play. You got 1:28 left in the game. They're down by 5. Not actually forced, but if it's there, you've got the opening, and it's Freddie Brown. I think he'll take it.
Shelton. 3-point Boston lead with timeout called by Bill Fitch. Some 27,000 sounding like a million right here during that timeout with 1:17 to go. And the two teams with the finest records in the NBA come right down to it. 108-105, and yes, Larry Bird is back in the game. Running just a touch gingerly on that ankle. John Johnson with him. Cornbread. Spinner against the double team. The Sonics, inside of a minute, trailing by 3, come down on the attack. 10 on the shot clock. Shelton taken down by Dennis Johnson on a spinner. It's a 1.39 seconds to go. Celtics are up. They cannot run the clock out. A great offensive rebound by Dennis Johnson, who is now all over tiny Archibald. Archibald to the attack. 13 on the shot clock. Bird is in behind Maxwell on the strong side. Carr all alone, 6 on the shot. Celtics must hurry. Archibald spins it back to Robey. 2 seconds, 1 second, they didn't get it off. 14 seconds, they turn it over. The shot clock expires. There will probably be a timeout. The Sonics can win it.
I think that the referees are aware that the 24-second clock expired, and they have to explain it to them. But they never got that shot away in time. It should be Seattle's basketball. And the referee's trying to restore order. Lenny Wilkins and Coach Bill Fitch both waiting to see what's going to happen.
No. 39 was the last one.
I saw, let's see, wait a minute. Wait a minute now, let me figure it out. 25 and 10 it was. It was 10 on the 10-second, on the 24, and it was 25. So that would have to be 10 seconds, which would make it 15, right? So we do have a 24-second violation. I'll handle it. Yeah.
24 seconds.
I'll handle it. I saw it. All right? I got it. I saw it.
A good call, Brent. Jake had control all the way. Don't you go away.
I've done some 30 championship games in the last 5 or 6 years. None of them any better than this.
They send in Don Chaney. Boston will bring in Chaney. As for defense, it's Seattle's ball. 15 seconds.
Now the Sonics trail it by a point. They will have John Johnson, Freddie Brown, Lonnie Shelton, Jack Sikma, and Dennis Johnson up against Bird, Chaney, Maxwell, Robey, and Carr.
Both teams are in the penalty, so a foul would result in 2 free throws.
Here comes DJ, Carr with him. Dennis goes up with a shot. Sonics lead. The Celtics take time out. He did not use up enough time on that clock.
You got to take the shot, though, Brent. It's there. You got to take it.
You got to take a shot when you can, because if you miss it, you got to get a chance to try to get it back.
Here it is. The opening's there. That's a relatively easy shot for him. He's wide open after the fake. About a 12-footer. Right in the bottom of the net. Now the pressure's on Boston.
The last time down the floor on the 24-second violation, the Celtics were unable to get the play that they really wanted done, and the crowd is a factor as they come across the timeline. Tiny Archibald could not direct the offense. Now with the timeout, they won't have that problem. They'll know what they're doing.
Hopefully. For their sakes, we hope they know what they're doing.
Thanks to all of these people who contributed to this magnificent afternoon on CBS. And of course, tomorrow, this gang will be in Kansas City for Bob Lanier and the Milwaukee Bucks against Sam Lacey. And I sure hope that Scotty Wedman is ready to play again for Kansas City. He's one of the fine forwards in the league. Lenny Wilkins seconds now, regrouping his defense.
You're really excited. We're not going there tomorrow. That's next Sunday.
I'm ready for another one tonight.
Milwaukee and Kansas City. That'll be a great one.
They have all been great this year.
You come up with the ball and then shoot back.
11 seconds, and the Celts are down by a point. There's the match next week, and again, we'll be back to that earlier starting time a little bit later today because of the Daytona 500, which was won by Buddy Baker.
I thought I saw a smile on Lenny's face there for the first time this afternoon. He's got the lead.
Carr goes to Archibald, and the countdown begins. 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and now Carr in and out, and at the buzzer, was there a foul?
Wait a minute.
Had time gone out? I want to see. The Sonics are celebrating.
It's over. Carr had the shot, Clint, but it wouldn't go down.
Time ran out, but there was a foul, but apparently it was after time expired on that rebound. Let's take a look at it.
Here's Archibald. Fumble the ball, gives it to Carr. Good fake. He has a shot right down the barrel. It won't go, but on the rebound, you'll see him try to put it back up as he grabbed it.
Now
right
that
there,
was Maxwell, and it was Shelton who hooked his arm coming across. Watch the clock this time, and the key is after the miss. When does Shelton hit Maxwell? That's what I saw. If the time was over, of course, there was no foul on the game. Now watch the clock. With a full 2, it is off.
And the game is over.
1 second left. That's it. No foul.
And this game
the
was
Sonics win it.
very well officiated. They were right on it. Great, great basketball game.
I don't know what to say. These two teams get together. It's a game like it's two great basketball teams. That's why they play. Their records are like they are.
So for Bill Russell and Hot Rod Utley, this is Brent Musburger saying so long from the Kingdom in Seattle, where we've had a dandy. Seattle beating Boston 109-108. Milwaukee and Kansas City are next week. And the NBA on CBS is a presentation of CBS Sports.